hey, I hope your day's going great.
Yes, we have received a letter from the town stating that we have to cease and desist all operations of Rootbound Farms LLC. So we are in the process of completely transforming the farm, at least the visible part of it, to non-useful grass. So we're in the talks with a lot of people right now as far as what we're doing. We still don't know exactly what our violations are. It was never told exactly what our violations were, so we're going to try to find that out today. Something tells me that the letter was kind of a scare tactic. La Plata doesn't look at our small suburban farm as an asset, then why would we want to be here? They never have looked at us. They always laughed at us and thought we were a joke, even though we provide food and products for many, many people in this town. And a lot of people not necessarily rely on us, but they love the fact that they were coming to us because they knew us. We talked to them, they knew us by name, and they knew who was making their products. So we're off to go get some stuff to make some changes.
It's amazing how quickly things change. We went from thinking that we were no longer allowed to farm on our land, taking everything down, to figuring out we were only violating 2 rules. However, there's still a lot of work to be done. We completely took down our front yard, and now it's all grass. It's gonna be all just regular, invasive green grass. It's not a big deal, I guess. This is what the status quo wants. We're gonna continue to do our suburban farming in the backyard though. So let's get back there. I gotta do a lot of broad forking. This is what no-till farmers do. Growing in our front yard, we are going to extend our what we call earth garden. We're making it bigger and bigger. We're gonna grow and grow and grow. Man, what a difference a day makes. We're gonna take what was our living wall all the way around, and we are gonna completely get rid of it, wood chip it, and extend our farm. Yes. Since we've had appeased our neighbors by not growing in the front, we have laid down about 50 pounds of grass seed. We've expanded our earth garden. I'm gonna show you what we did here. Before, we had a double wall. We called it a living wall. As you can see, I need to lay the next layer of chicken wire, and it will create a double wall. A wall in which we can throw plants in, put wood chips. I mean, we can put everything in it. right, one of the things we take pride in here at Rootbound Farms is the fact that we like to think of ourselves as sustainable and regenerative, and that we work with the land and we do things that make sense. So one of the things that we do, and we've done for the last 4 years, is we've had what's called a living wall. And the living wall, you can see part of it behind me going around. I've already kind of shown you us building a little bit of it. But what we like to do is we like to put scrap wood in there. We put plants that are done. They're completely dead and they're through their life cycle. And we either compost them in our compost pile or we put them in our living wall. What's really cool about the living wall is it can be moved whenever you want. We just had it up for 4 years. We just moved it. We actually widened our farm a little bit. And what you see beneath me right now is the soil that it created. We had 2 years of yard waste, leaves, straw. We had the chickens scratching through it. It is literally probably some of the best soil that you could imagine right now. If you just look at this soil, it's kind of just like our compost. This soil at this house when we moved in 9 years ago was hard pan and sandy. It was hard. You couldn't dig in it. Now, if you take the Broad Fork and go down, some of the areas in here are about 2 feet thick of just the most nutrient dense, dark, filled with life soil that you can possibly imagine. So what I'm going to show you right now, some of the things that we put in this wall. There's no use in taking these things to the dump, even burning them. You put them in we put them in our living wall and they break down just like a dead tree would in nature in the woods. So this is part of our back to Eden method of growing. We might not be able to grow much in our wall this year unless we have a lot of work and put a lot of wood chips and compost in there to grow things, because we're starting from scratch and building it up all again. And it's even more of a wall than we had before. So watch this. Okay, so what I have here is just some of the wood scraps of some small shrubs and bushes and trees that we've cut down from our front yard. And we're just gonna toss it in here. This is a big one right here. Oh, this was a big cedar tree that we cut. And we just plop it in there. And I will tell you, you can pretty much throw anything that was once living in here. Now, the problem will be you wouldn't want to throw weeds in here. And you can think about why you probably wouldn't want to throw weeds. The problem with that would be that they would start creeping up through and growing into the living wall. We call it a living wall, not just because we want to grow everything in there. It's because we can grow. That was awesome. It's because we can grow anything we want in there. And it's also, I mean, it serves so many purposes. One of the main purposes, and I haven't even mentioned yet, but I've mentioned in other videos, and I'm gonna keep talking, hopefully you can hear me. One of the biggest purposes this living wall serves is the fact that we can use it as a barrier between our farm and our yard. So it serves as an amazing barrier. Not only is it a barrier, check it out. Okay, we're gonna fill this thing up. But everything that ends up in here can serve as that barrier between the yard and our farm. Wood chips and build up this area and then start bringing some compost in here to form our beds. We're expanding the farm.